Welcome to Teal. Teal is an online chromatogram viewer. So chromatograms are basically the colors that are used to sequence different nucleotides. So this is more or less the raw data coming off the machine, and we can view that as a way to proofread the sequence, which is an important thing to do. So input, and I've selected one. You can choose a file from your computer, launch the analysis, and give it a sec, and then bam, you will see these are the nucleotides. And you can look and say, well, all right, that's an A, that makes sense. That's a C, that makes sense. That looks like 2 A's, or like this one, well, it's about twice as wide as an A. But with that, you can also see the sequence down here. Like, for example, it's got an A here and a C here, and it thinks there are only 2 A's there. Like out here where the sequence gets really messy, I would probably just cut this off. And so we can see at which point there's actually good sequence and at which point the sequence is not so good. And you can drive right along the sequence. You can see the occasional place where there's a little bit of like, look here, this one's mostly G, but there's a little bit of A coming up. And so if those two peaks get kind of close to each other, then you can say, wait a minute, so that's not A and that's not G. We need an uncertainty code that says that it's either A or G, and those exist. Oh yeah, that was a nice little, here we go. Look at that. See, the green one, which is an A, is about the same size as the red one, which is a T. And so in that case, it looks like a 50-50 split between two nucleotides. And yeah, A or T is, I think, a reasonable assumption. I think that's a W, but we'll have to check our uncertainty codes to be sure. And then you'll see as you get toward the end of the sequence, the peaks get smaller because there weren't as many little products that made it there. And at a certain point, the peaks are just itty-bitty little things. And you might say, wow, is that even real? But you can multiply the peaks, and as long as they're still nice clean peaks with not a lot of stuff in between them or sort of overlap, then you can believe it. Now here at the end, once again, I think we're into chaos, and I don't really believe anything out here. And I would say, yeah, it has correctly stopped the sequence, but I'd probably stop it somewhere right about here, where everything looks like it starts to go haywire. So there you go. That's how you can proofread your sequence data using Teal.